If you'd like to go on an adventure, say, "Let's go, Thomas."
Okay, this is the first Thomas in this Thomas collecting video. Do you know what this one is? It's a little bit hard to tell the way I'm showing it to you at the moment. This is the first time that I've got one of these. Take note of the detailing here. We've got the white on the running plate there. The wheels are frozen up. That doesn't bother me, but it's actually a spectacular looking Thomas. Can you tell what it is? There's a nice look at the very cheerful face. Thomas is looking down a bit. There is one little piece of detail that is missing, and that is the whistle. So how old do you think this Thomas is? Maybe it's time to look at the number underneath. I can read there, 2007 Gullane Thomas Limited. Well, 2007 was quite some time ago now. And to give you an idea of the scale, let me drive in there a wooden Thomas. I think we all know how big that there is. It's actually quite a sizable Thomas. It's a very nice model. It's got some surprise detailing there, some stairs there going up to the driver's cabin. Now you've seen that there, can you work out what it is? And maybe this view will really give away what this Thomas is. You put water in there. On his funnel there, there's a little hole. It's actually a Thomas watering can. It is really, really nice. Like I said, it's the first one I've got. Who else has got one of these spectacular Thomases? I've got to say, I love this Thomas here. As soon as I saw it, I thought, wow, it's spectacular. It does lapse across to the merchandise side. I could have showed it in looking at the Thomas merchandise, but it's a great rendition of Thomas. I think most people will agree with this. There is a look at the cold bunker and everything there. I tell you what, we just do not get items like that these days in the Thomas & Friends realm. We'll let that Thomas chug away there, and guess who's coming into play? It's a little Percy, and I think this is a pullback model. Let's see if he still works. Well, Percy's still got a fair bit of choo-choo left in him. It does make a good sound when you pull it back hard and let it go. It is actually a fairly nicely detailed Percy. It's showing a fair bit of love there. And people were worried, oh Leo, you gave away your Percy collection, and well, what's going to happen? Well, I tell you what, it is not going to take long to build it up, because Percy is one of the most popular characters that I get. Let's take a close look at that face. Okay, there is the face. It's very cheerful, isn't it? Looking closer at this toy here, the sticker there is showing a bit of wear and tear. I don't mind if toys are a bit banged around. It shows that they've had the love, doesn't it? Nice 6 on the back there. The nice shape of Percy there, and that detailing there, and the 2 wheels here. This one here has got like a traction, what would you call it, like traction tie there, which is part of his little secret to why he performs so well. Let's take a look at the date. Well, there's the vital stats there, some sort of model number there, 2009 Mattel, 2009 Gullane, Thomas, blah blah, and most importantly, it says Percy. Yes, a very common toy. There is a size relationship to a Thomas Wooden Railway. Nice size for little hands. These toys did change and morph, and I think they got a little bit less detailed as they went on in time. Anyway, we'll send Percy off on his way. Look at him, he still goes. He's a stunner. Watch out for the drop! It's like that round here, Percy. Well, with Percy taking a dive off the table like that in crazy style, this is the next item we're going to take a look at. It is Trackmaster. Unfortunately, it is not Hit Toy Company Trackmaster. It turned up like this. There is a bag of goodness there. Okay, and looks like, oh, Percy's in there, and there is this piece of the playset like that. Oh, I quite like these mystery bags, because you never know what you're going to get when you open them up. Well, it looks like some sort of piece that Harold would play with. Obviously, Percy's here. I think that might be a ring-in. And I'm absolutely pretty sure that is a ring-in. I think that's some Chuggington Interactive gear there, which actually just reminded me of a story. And there's this piece here, which is magnetised. Who knows? Some track, obviously. There is some constructions. Yeah, I'm a little bit fearful I haven't got the full playset here. There is a picture there of the playset. I wonder who had this playset. Hey, look, it's a nice, simple layout. There's no straights in that one. It's all curves. Okay, there's some decal action to be done. That's been done for me. There is meant to be a Harold here. I think that's possibly the part that's missing, which is a shame. Okay. Is there a name of this playset anywhere? Or am I just dumb? I just missed it, did I? I don't know, maybe I'll work it out as we go along. This copyright info on the instructions is important to look at. It says 2010 Ghislaine Thomas. I think I've got some which go up to 2013, so this isn't quite at the end of the Trackmaster Classic era. Just give me a moment, I'll get this together as best I can. I will get some batteries in the purse and we'll check out what's going on there. We'll be able to investigate like Sherlock Holmes and see how much love he has been given. And I dare say this set would have been called something like Harold's Rescue set or something, or Percy's and Harold Rescue. Well, I've done my best to construct this playset in the way it should be. Unfortunately, Harold is missing in action, which is sad, but that piece there is rather nice. It's also missing a piece of track right there, but don't worry, boys and girls. I've got thousands of curves like that because when you bought Trackmaster playsets, so often they were very curvy. Okay, let's investigate Percy here. Underneath it says copyright 2009, but that was sort of the beginning of the transition of the Mattel era. It doesn't look too banged around if you ask me. What was a bit of a surprise was it's a runner. There's a battery in there. We are yet to investigate the battery. Let's take a look at the face. Well, Percy's face is in excellent condition there. There's not a mark on that face there. Normally with these trains that have been played around with, you'll see the buffers there will get knocked around. You'll often see scuff marks and everything, especially across the cab here. Very, very clean. Also, you'll see marks at the back here. But the best place to look to indicate how much use this train has got. Do you remember where to look, boys and girls? I often talk about this place. That's right. It's down under here. And yes, we can see that Percy has had a home where there's been a carpet. He's been a bit of a carpet. Thomas is saying I had. Look at that then. Some nice, oh wow, some very, very strong fibres in there. What you find is once you drag all this stuff out and clean him up, you'll find he'll be a much better performing Percy. This stuff can put an enormous amount of drag on the little electric motors in these trains. I'm going to have to do a major operation here to clean all the fluff out. It's even on the other side as well. Okay, just let me get rid of all this fluff. Now, this is a reminder, boys and girls and mumsies and dadsies, please check your belly buttons for stuff like this. On human bodies, we collect stuff like this. On these toy trains, they seem to cop it around the axles. Wow, this is actually quite a chronic case. It's all around the connecting rod there. Yeah, I'd say this Percy's had a fair bit of running, but not being played with, if that makes any sense. He's like being set on a run, obviously in a carpeted house, but I don't think he's had that much rough play. Well, that there is the fluff that I pulled out of Percy's axle there. I have seen worse than that, but that's quite an amount of fluff. I think Percy's far happier now, but I will come in and check out what battery's inside. And I should have done this one speaking like Percy, but I totally forgot. Yeah, do you remember Classic Trackmaster? It's strange saying that, doesn't it? How things have changed. Ooh, it's an Eveready. I wasn't expecting to see that brand. Let's just see if the battery is leaked. Oh, no, Percy is in very good condition. Has me curious how much zing this Eveready battery has. Wow, I'm quite surprised. Let's put into Percy something a little bit upmarket. Only the best for Percy. Let's just check to see how it feels for power. It feels pretty good, actually. Let me get this toy back together. And I can sneak in another one of those shots. Okay, Percy's nice and fresh with a new battery in there. Always take your batteries out of toys if you're putting them in storage, because batteries end up killing nice toys. And just seeing the battery there reminded me of something I want to show you. We've got the Chuggington interactive things here. Let me just drag up a box and explain something. Okay, in this box is going to be some, well, fairly recent memories. Do you remember when I took a look at the $10 tubs of toys and that photo was revealed? And also that playset, which had a whole bunch of extra chuggers. All that resides in there, plus my own personal interactive chuggers. I take all the batteries out of the toys when they are in storage. The Chuggington interactive toys, I thought they were fantastic train toys. And as I found out in that $10 tub thing, the Trackmaster Thomas trains actually ran around on their very strange pieces of track that looked like, they get a little piece out, looked like that, which really doesn't look like a train track. Nevertheless, there is this piece here, and funnily enough, that does remind me of what I've got down there. But now that I'm looking at this, and there's something that I didn't tell you about when I went to put these toys away in the box, how many batteries do you think I got out of all these toys? And the playset here, because many of the playset parts incorporated batteries, because it was all a bit of a chit-chatty set. How many batteries do you think came out of all that? Okay, this is going to be the shock horror part of this video. How many batteries do you think are in my hand there? I think maybe this is another little insight into me why Chuggington Interactive possibly didn't go too far. Let me tip this bag out. Okay, I've done some pour shots on my channel before, but this is a very, very different one. Look at that there. I absolutely love the Chuggington Interactive toys. Look at that, it's running on Trackmaster. Classic track there, that's nice to see, but I think the big problem, and it's only been a recent revelation once I pulled a playset and the batteries out of the trains, is there were 22 batteries in that playset and the trains with the playset. And just between you and me, that is completely ridiculous. Lots of people have watched the video where I speak about that playset there. I don't think there's one comment about how reliant that toy is on batteries. And sure, you could have come in and played with these trains without batteries. Sometimes children just like to make their own chugga sounds like chugga 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 and hello Coco, how was your day? I think children much prefer to play like that. They were quite elaborate chatty toys, but do we really need that many batteries incorporated in a toy to make it a good toy? I don't think we do. Now, the other curious aspect to me about these batteries is these are the batteries that you get with the Chuggers when they're brand new. There's no, well, I'll say shop-bought batteries that have been added to it, and all these batteries had great charge in them and none of them were leaking, so whatever that battery there is, it's a beauty. Oh, so that's totally derailed this video, hasn't it? Let's get back to the Percy playset. Let me just clear all these batteries away. In fact, I might grab this back. I've got a secret mission with this. Okay, let's give Percy a spin here. Go, Percy, go! And he's actually dragging it along. A little bit of recycled truck that the Chuggers would have dragged along. And he doesn't like that part there. I think it's the recycled truck that's causing confusion and delay there. Maybe we'll give it a bit of a shove along. That's sort of sad, isn't it? I sort of prefer when toys talk to each other and work together. I think in a perfect world, we got through that time. In a perfect world, that's what we have, but sadly, we don't live in a perfect world. Yes, it's quite a nice place here, a bit of a bygone era place set in a way, because it does have a nice Sodor feel with the rescue centre there. And you're probably wondering, well, Leo, how did you make that Chuggington Interactive wagon connect up to Percy? Well, I learned a little trick from my son, because I noticed children are really good at problem solving and making things that aren't meant to fit together. Okay, that there is a giant lump of blue tag. Get a little ball of it about yay size there. Okay, and bring it over to the back coupling of Percy or whoever you want and just put it there. And the next part is quite simply this. You just get the ball of the Chugger there and you force it down onto the coupling there. Maybe put your little finger under there so you don't snap it off. And that's all you need to do to make that connect. My son got to love Blue Tack. It often melded together all different sorts of toys for him, and away it goes. It's not the perfect fix, but it does give you a little bit of play, and sometimes that's really what it's all about. That is, if it doesn't get stuck. Come on, Percy, come on! Ah! Come on, Percy, don't be so cranky. I know you're getting a bit upset because you're dealing with a Chugger in the back there. Let me just take that away and we'll clean up your back coupling. Are you happier now? Yes, I think he's happier now. With this playset, it really is, I think, only the one thing missing. Well, the heliport is there. Sadly, I think there's meant to be a Harold sticking up here. And normally when Percy comes over here, there's one of those stop-go things, and I think he would normally have powered Harold and made Harold turn around. I think you can see that spinning in there. I hope that's nice and clear. And of course you can let Percy go on his merry way there. But I think the way I look at this playset is, just because it's missing one thing, don't write it off. You can easily turn this into, well, nearly a fully featured playset. And you know, the simple thing to do, it's very simple. And quite simply, you can fly in another Harold. That is a Thomas Wooden Railway Harold. It's probably the perfect size for this playset. It looks great. The only thing missing is he hasn't got an arm that he can connect into the playset, but he can fly around and be at the top of the rescue centre right there. Yes, the rescue centre, it's got doors here. I don't exactly know what the doors do. They do interfere with the track if you open up too far. It is a little bit 2D in a sense. It's quite thin there. And it's funny, this part here, I always thought the rescue centre has a light on it. I thought it was like a lighthouse thing. I don't know why they made it that Harold would be buzzing around like that. I would think it would have made more sense having a lighthouse there. But hey, I don't design the toys. All I know is that, you know, if you're trying to sell this and you're going to try and make it just a bit better and there's parts missing, you can just add pieces to fix it up. Remembering you did also have a piece of track missing here. So what do you think? Is it worth keeping even though the play set is not fully complete?
We are on track and on time. If you'd like to go on another adventure, say, let's go, Thomas.
Okay, the next items we're going to take a look at reside in this bag. There was a sneak peek of some of these in a previous video, but we're going to take a bit of a closer examination right now. Okay, it's like a bit of glory days going on here. I've got no qualms with those guys there. I don't care what condition they're in. In fact, I like them when they're a little bit beaten about. A bit of a ring in here. Isn't that red? Oh my goodness me, I haven't got his name right there. I think he's a Cars character. That's a Thomas Buff Time Squirter. It looks like a fairly recent one. Ooh, and I'm glad they kept that Percy set up because look at this here. Skarloey. A little bit scratched up there. Okay, we'll take a closer look. Just having a quick look around at the moment. And it's, wow. It's a Tomy one. Oh, great. 2005. Okay, this would be bringing up some very nice memories for people. I've just checked to see if it works. Sometimes if you give it a bang, if there's a battery in it, it'll come to life. I'm yet to open this one up. Let's check out the face. Looks in good condition. It's a little bit banged around, like I was talked about Percy before. You can see that there. The buffers there have been banged around. There was also some scratching down. I think it's down this side there. It's been shown the love there. But nevertheless, it looks like it's in pretty good condition. And when we take a look at the wheel area down here, there's not too much fluff getting about, and the traction tyres are also in pretty good nick. But sadly, outside appearances on battery-powered toys can be a bit misleading. The real condition of this toy will be revealed when we take a look at the battery area. Just reminded me of how great these engines look. We lost a bit of that when it went to Trackmaster 2 because it became quite generic in the way they were designed in the core. Okay, well there's no battery in there and it looks like it's in pretty good condition. Sort of weird how that terminal there has been pushed down. Anyway, we'll make a much better connection, won't it? So in goes the battery. Let's hope it works. Oh, a sigh of relief. Yeah, as I learnt from my viewers, sometimes if they don't work, you turn them on, you give them a bit of a tap on the table and it sort of shakes the connections back together. That's what I learned from my viewers. Doesn't that sound lovely? There'd be many people, it would be bringing back some great memories. These trains, especially the Tomy ones, had a very distinctive sound in the way they worked. And sadly, I think that has been lost in the Trackmaster 2 toy trains. Well, I'll come in and give Skarloey a bit of a run here. It's not often you see the more unusual characters come through by the charity shop. I'm just thinking back, it's not often I've had the narrow gauge guys come through, but it's very nice to have him on board. Okay, who's next for a bit of a scrutiny? Oh, what about this beautiful Ertl Gordon? Oh, the indignity! And I better come in and shut down Skarloey. Shush. Well, boys and girls, there was a different era of toys where Thomas toys looked like this. These were classic toys. They were much loved toys. And this one, as you can see, has had a lot of what I call Thomas love. There's bits of paint missing and all things like that, but sometimes that doesn't really distract too much from the price. Let's take a look at Gordon's face. I'm pretty sure that face looks absolutely brilliant. There were also paper-faced versions of these toys, and they are the ones that people seem to want to hunt after. And often, if you look under here, you can also see the sort of play that it's had. If there's any hair and carpet caught up on the wheels, it's just more love, isn't it? Let's take a look at the date of this one. Ooh, that's the 9th date. Thomas Limited, 1989. Let's be quite honest here, these were not perfect toys. There were some peculiar things going on. Maybe one of the most peculiar was the fact that tender was actually connected to the engine. The coupling system was a bit of a fail. But for the fact this thing actually looked fairly decent and accurate to what you saw in the TV series and also the books, I think that was its most endearing factor, and it's something that the toys have drifted far away from these days. Yes, the prices of these can jump around all over the place. You have to be a little bit careful. There are people playing games online with these and also in antique stores. Let's take a look at Donald. I hope it's Donald. Oh, sorry, Douglas. Number 10 there. Someone said to me, you can tell the difference by looking at the face, although that hasn't really hit. Someone said to me one was happy and one was sad. I'm not sure how accurate that is. Maybe you can re-enlighten me on that one. This one's had a lot of play, so obviously whoever had this, who was it again? Douglas. I'm a fail on this one. Douglas was quite a favourite. You can tell that by all of the paint and everything. To me, it doesn't distract from it. In fact, I think it makes this toy far more endearing for the fact that it has had a loving owner that's basically stripped it of all of its metal. Underneath there, we're starting to see the rusty screws. That was another hallmark of what went wrong with these toys. Sometimes you'd see the axles fail. They had like pinwheel axles, like a Hot Wheels car. Yeah, but, you know, lovely toys. I think lovely looking toys is the main thing. Let's drag up Henry here while we're on a runner here, see if I can't fail more. Quite a strange face going on Henry there. Also, I think, yeah, I just remember they were quite distracting. And I remember when I did Mad Bomber, and this will get people excited, I remember cutting off all of these big lumpy bits of plastic that were coupling. I didn't like that. I was cutting those off. Probably totally destroyed the price of any sort of resale. And also, I think when Mad Bomber 2, which never eventuated, I was cutting the tenders off. It was quite a job to cut them off and make the tenders independent. But hey, I think it really made a fancy toy look far, far fancier. I also remember, I think I chopped up, it was actually a paper face, I think it was a Gordon or something. Man, did the audience get angry. You guys can rekindle my memory. Look at this, I love this. It's been banged around a lot here. Had a lot of love. Had a lot of love. Imagine if this Henry here could talk. Imagine the stories, possibly horror stories. Look at the eyes, I love it. This one could say, like, there's so much character basically coming out of this toy just to fit in my hands here. I mean, the wheels have really been given a go. It would have been a much loved toy, that one there. And we'll take a look at the City of Turo one. And what's a little bit strange, this one, and I'm assuming this all came from the same household, is this one. Look at the condition of this. It's actually in pretty good condition. Okay. So often if you see a group of toys come from the same house, you can straight away pick off the favourites. Like if you look through my son's toy box, straight away you'll see Toby's wrecked, Diesel 10 is wrecked. He's been through a few Thomases now. Who else does he used to play with? Quite a Percy would often be well used and abused. This one here, but is in pretty good nick, and in fact on a appraisal of resale, I'd actually give that one a fair condition. And you might say, oh Leo, it looks better than fair, but let me just show some things. I mean, the stickers have gone here. It has got paint chips, and also these areas here have been dented in. Okay. So I'm going to be fairly stringent in the way I call it. You know, all too often you see people on online sales site without saying the word eBay, and they give appraisals of things, and quite often the appraisals are not correct, and then the people who buy the toys get quite angry, and I think rightly so. Okay, Disney Cars character. This is Red. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the fire engine guy. It's had some love here, paint chips and everything. It's also been in the water. Okay, it's got rusty axles. Toys, when you look at them in the right spot, start to paint a picture of the sort of place they came from. Has it got any moving parts on this one? That's nice and soft, that there. I noticed that the Disney stuff, the Disney car stuff, it's so well designed, it looks so good as well. Sadly, the Thomas stuff didn't seem to follow that trend. It's missing a part there. I mean, really, it's pretty banged around the more I look at this, but hey, you know, like I said, sometimes it can give so much more character to a toy when you see them like this. There's some nice detailing there under there, but as usual, and I'm not surprised, there's no date. It just says copyright Pixar in China there. Yes, I don't know why the Disney stuff so often has no date. And next up, I don't mind these Thomases at all. I think they're a fairly recent one. Never noticed that. The whistles are there, but they're not painted. Great cheery face, in a sense, the modern sort of CGI look. It's a bath time Squirter Thomas, and from what I remember is they squirt from the funnel there, and it's a whole ton of bath time fun. Strangely enough, these are actually pretty hard to find now. They're quite a popular toy. In fact, any bath time Squirter toy is popular. I wonder if there's a date under here. There is a date there. It says 2009 Mattel, but you see that on a whole ton of Mattel stuff. The nice thing about bath time squirters is, well, they're a nice size. They get you into a franchise or a brand fairly inexpensively. I said that with the Finding Dory bath time squirters when I showed them. And I think they look pretty cool, you know. And also, do you remember, just recently I picked Toothless up on the rubbish piles, and I did save him. I looked at his date, he's 2010, and he was sort of all full of yucky water. That's the thing with these toys here. You've got to keep cleaning them out because they do grow algae and yuckies inside them quite easily. And you've got to wash them out and make sure they're kept clean. Hang on, guys. None of that on this channel, please. Please stop. In fact, we can't look at that, boys and girls. Well, it just separated them away, and Toothless said to me he was just trying to give Thomas a drink. That's okay.
We are on track and on time. If you'd like to go on another adventure, say, let's go, Thomas.
Okay, the next lot of toys reside in this bag here, and I think they all came from the same house. Let's take a look at what we've got. Oh, yeah. Well, it's almost like getting a bag of licorice, all sorts. There's a whole bunch of different things here. That is Mattel. We'll look at the age a bit later on. This one here is Tomy. Okay, it's actually 2002 Tomy, and it's in spanking condition as well. This Percy here, another Percy with a broken back coupling there. He's Tomy, but I can't quite see his date. Oh, I have to look closely. Anyway, there's a Flynn here as well. Yeah, didn't this one here came with its pumping thing at the back? It seems to be all sort of lonely, all by itself like that. Okay, 2009 Mattel, ho-hum. 2002 Tomy, yay, and we're happy. And let's inspect Percy. Okay, Percy's 1994 Tomy. While we're under here, we'll take a look. There's not much hair and stuff caught around the wheels here. The traction tyres seem to be in pretty good nick. Often the earlier Tomy stuff, as it's getting older, the traction tyres deteriorate. Okay, let's take a look at the face. And it's a sort of Percy face that we don't get anymore like that. It's quite an endearing Percy face. This Percy's had some love. You can see there the paint's missing there. It has been knocked around. There's bits of plastic also chipped off. Doesn't really bother me. I wonder if it's got a battery, and sometimes you knock these, they come to life. It feels weighty. Maybe they're, I don't know. Have to open it up, won't we? Yeah, look, it's got paint missing underneath there because it's got the back coupling broken. That's another very common thing I used to see going on. Let's see what's going on inside. It was that era where you didn't need a screwdriver. It had that clever little system like that. Oh, there's a battery in there. Oh, no. There we go, boys and girls. That's how you destroy your toys. That battery is in really bad condition. It's a wet one. Okay, it's sticky. It's horrible. Oh, it's a shame, isn't it, when that happens? It really is. It can be so easily, rectified by taking the batteries out. But who knows, I might just clean those up there and we might get Percy running. Well, I've given it a quick tidy up. That terminal's just very short. I thought part of it was missing. What I don't like is, let me just show you carefully down there. Okay, this Percy is in some pretty poor condition. Look at that there. There's all sorts of corrosion and stuff going on inside that switch there. So there's been a major battery leak. It's got inside to all the electricals there. It doesn't look good at all. In fact, it's one of the worst that I've seen come through here. Let me just throw a battery and see if something does happen here. I'll be highly surprised if this works. No. Dead as a dodo. Maybe it needs to bang on the table. Yes, you know, bang on the table. Oh, yeah. I can't believe it. I captured that one on camera. That's great. Yeah, the old bang on the table is often the trick to get these going. And what I'll do is I'll just give him a bit of a spray of WD-40 in there, and I'll give him a bit of a blow job with air to just get rid of all of that WD-40. And it's made a big mess on the table now, but that will make him feel happier. And it's a bit of a quick fix. I mean, really, I think that whole engine motor area needs to be pulled down because I'm pretty sure it would be full of goobies. Well, I'll tell you what, Percy's actually sounding and feeling a whole bunch better now I've given it a spray. Yes, let me just slap Percy's top back on here. I'll tell you what, Percy wasn't that far from being on the scrap heap. He was in some pretty poor condition. Okay, next one is Flynn. Nice, large Thomas Trackmaster one, this one. I don't know if I'm going to get it to work. And once again, I don't know if there's a battery in there yet. It doesn't look too banged around. It looks in pretty good nick. Underneath here also looks pretty clean. Yeah, it's saying to me there wasn't much love given to this Flynn. And like I said, I think there's a piece missing there. It's pump thing or whatever it was on the back there. Quite a nice version of Flynn. Just noticing, I think this one's been in the sand pit. There's sand in there. That may play havoc. Let me just get a battery in this, see what's going on. Yes, it's actually feeling gritty and sounding gritty. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh, more battery damage. Now I think Performer batteries is what you found in Kmart. That's what you find in Kmart in Australia. And some people say that the cheapy batteries leak worse than the quality batteries. I think the way I'd say it is I have seen both cheap ones and expensive ones leak. Let's see how damaged that is. Well, I think this one might clean up okay. Flynn might be lucky here. Yes, I'm starting to lose count of the times I've seen what batteries do to toys, and like this one's full of grit and goodness knows what else in there. Let me throw a battery in and let's see if it's going to play for me. Come on, Flint, please wake up. Oh, yes! Hopefully I have that one caught on camera. It's not feeling too bad at all. I think just a bit of a spray of WD-40 across the gearbox and everything here and the battery terminals, and Flynn is going to be like new. And there's the batteries from both ends of the spectrum. Obviously the Performer is the bottom end of the spectrum. Looking at the positive terminal there, I think there's a bit of problem going on both of those, but I think it's up the back end here, the negative terminal. Well, that Performer battery has really started to chew out. The Duracell, not so much. Well, let me get Flynn back together and I'll give Flynn and that Tommy Percy a run. Okay, we'll give our beautiful Tommy Percy a run. We'll give our Trackmaster Flynn a run there, and he's playing up there, and we'll give Scarlowy a run there. Almost said Rheneas, didn't I? And Percy's giving the shove there to Scarlowy. Mind you, Scarlowy is just pulling ahead there. Go, Scarlowy, go! Yes, from those toys that were down in the charity shop, it's actually making up quite a nice little toy playset there. Oh, hang on, what's going on there? Scarlowy is coming and giving a nudge to Flynn's wagons there. This could get quite ugly. Oh no! Scarlowy has just gone off the tracks and Percy's getting in the shove up the back there. Oh, he's off! Scarlowy's down! Scarlowy is down! So there you go, as simple as this looks, you get a bit of action like that going on. The glories of just playing with a nice flat layout, eh? Come on, we'll get Scarlowy back running again. We don't want to see him down on the ground. Go, Scarlowy, go! Well, Flynn's quite a trooper there, just doing it in style. And hang on a second, Scarlowy's caught up there. He keeps jumping. Oh, Flynn's just giving him the nudge now. Flynn's stuck, you know what's going to happen. Percy's going to give the nudge. Percy's off the tracks. Percy's off the tracks, and here comes Scarlowy giving the nudge there. Percy's run across here. He's going to collide with Flynn. Oh my goodness me, Percy's on another runner. He can't stop. He's running around. He's going to hit the heliport. This is unbelievable. I cannot keep my eyes on. Oh no, there's a stack up. I can't believe it. Oh, whoever said playing with little toy trains is going to get boring? Such a simple layout, but so much jeopardy started to get set up there. I absolutely love playing with trains like that, and all these guys are now just getting turned off. And how many times have I said now on these toy train videos I do, that is the very simple and good fun to have with these toy trains. You don't need things to go around like roller coasters. In a strange way, just playing on a nice flat track with a couple of different characters is the best thing to do. You know, you'll hear me say the classic toys, classic Trackmaster. Well, I think we've got a good gauge of that just by looking at that very simple layout there. Let me move on to the last Thomas that we're going to take a look at in this video, and I'm just going to land it here like this. This is the first one of these that I've seen in my collection. It is a beautiful Thomas. It has got a rubberized face. Okay, so this might be a fully featured toy. I'm yet to work out whether it works. It is underneath, it says 2009 Hit Toy Company. But I just want to show you firstly, this thing has not got a mark on it. It basically looks mint in box, but it's obviously not in its box. Okay, well let me show you underneath and we'll put some batteries in. Okay, there is a serial number there. It says 2009 Ghislaine Thomas Limited. There's the Hit Toy Company block. Hit Toy Company made in China, of course, and it's Thomas. Now the switch here may lead to what this Thomas can do. It's obviously got on, off, follow me, which has me thinking, was it called Follow Me Thomas, or am I just wrong? And it's also Try Me. I think that was a setting for when it was in box. There's its scale against wooden Thomas there. Now I look over this more carefully. I noticed in the cold bunker area there is like a little infrared light there. I think that's what that is. I also noticed that the dome here has got some sort of function. Okay, it looks like it might have fluctuating eyes, as the knockoff stuff often says. I think the eyes move in this one. But I do have a feeling for some reason there is probably something else that went with this and it may be missing. Well, just as I get the batteries in, you can see it's got great big chunky traction tyres there. It does haunt me when I see these toys come through and they have barely been played with. This wouldn't have been a cheap Thomas, I can tell you. It would have been quite a ritzy one. That is if I get the battery compartment open. Okay, it takes some larger batteries. It takes 3C batteries and it's got that ribbon there to help you pull the batteries out. And the battery compartment is in absolutely Mickey Mouse condition. That's nice to see. Oh, this thing's starting to come alive. It does work. Well, this Thomas is making all sorts of sounds as I screw this up. So it's got those settings there. That was on, off. Let me just try Follow Me, see what happens. This could be trouble. It could be fun. Oh, don't go off the table, Thomas. Hey, 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 settle down. Settle down. I know you're excited that battery's in you. Wow. Oh, man, I don't know what it's going to do. That's going to go for a ram up the back there. Okay, it's going to come back. Not off the table, please. I wonder if it knows where the edge of the table is. Has this thing got artificial intelligence? Oh, I don't think so. It nearly went off the table. It's spooking me out, those eyes. Completely spooking me out. It seems to know what's around it. Then again, it just tried to jump off the table. They go up the back there. See what it does. It'll probably cause chaos. Oh, no, off it goes to the dark corner over there. If I swing it right round very fast. Luckily, I've got a gaffer on side here. You don't know what a gaffer is, do you? Oh! Now it's coming straight for me! Stop, Thomas, stop! You're freaking me out! You're freaking me out! Now, does this thing talk? Does its mouth move? It's done eye action. It's not making any sounds. Maybe if I hit the dome, it'll do something, or maybe it's going to go more crazy on me. Oh, no! Sorry about that, Thomas. That was quite ugly, wasn't it? Man, it's got some power, I tell you. It wants to get in my hands, this thing. Remembering it's got those C batteries in there, I think it's just trying to find Soda Island and get out of here. Whoa! Whoa! Oh! Stop doing that on me, okay? Just stop! I'm actually just going to change its settings to on. I don't know what that's going to do. I'm surprised the thing doesn't do like any sounds or talks. I'm sure that mouth would move. Maybe it's a bit dysfunctional, this one.
Hello, I'm Thomas.
Oh my goodness.
There are lots of places to visit on the island of Sodor.
Well, that's not going to get me a DMCA yet.
If you'd like to go on an adventure,
This is awesome.
Let's go, Thomas.
Oh, Let's Go Thomas! I think that's his name.
Full steam ahead.
Oh, this is amazing.
Knapford Station is a great place to see lots of my friends.
Cool.
If you'd like to go to Knapford Station, say, let's go, Thomas.
Let's go, Thomas!
Let's go to Knapford Station.
Yes, I think it was called Let's Go Thomas. Now it's sort of telling me that. Oh, man. Whoa, not off the edge of the table, Thomas. There's my DMCA.
See the Sodor steam engines all in a row. Passengers are waiting for really useful engines. Full steam ahead and off we go.
Wow. This is one of my favourites, I tell you. Stunning.
Bubbling boilers.
Yeah, bubbling boiler's all
I'm
right.
almost out of water. I'd better fill up.
Oh. That sounded like a stomach pump, not a fill-up.
When it's time to go again, say, "Let's go, Thomas."
I can't help myself. Let's go, Thomas!
Great. We're back on track.
Man, this thing's intelligent.
Let's continue on our way.
Okay,
The
go,
next
Thomas,
station,
go.
Full steam ahead.
Well, that's a strange little turn. Over there's going to trash that. Come back the other way. Whoa! Oh, the boat's taking out Dory there.
Here we are at Knapford Station.
No, you're actually in Finding Nemo land.
Knapford Station is bustling with activity. Engines are coming and going. Waiting for signals. And picking up passengers.
Wow.
There are lots of places to visit on the island of Sodor.
Yeah.
Bubbling boilers. There's something blocking the track.
Yeah, it's called Percy, which was found in the scrap heap.
Other way.
Oh, it's trying to go backwards. Wow, it's actually intelligent. Oh, here it goes! Well, over there's going to trash that. Place it there. Come on back. Oh, there's my DMCA. There's my DMCA. I've got to talk over this. If that gets heard, I'm going to lose control of this video. Let me turn Thomas off. Let me turn Thomas off. I don't want to hear that. Okay, I think I've seen enough of this Thomas to say it is completely and utterly awesome. Well, I've turned this Thomas off. My son has just poked his head in to take a look at this Thomas. He is highly impressed. What's your thoughts on that one there?
It looks cool.
Looks very cool. It's possibly one of the most awesome Thomases of this style, as is the ones aimed at the younger children. Put it this way, I had that turbo flip Thomas and I thought that was pretty awesome. Man, this is like a 10 out of 10 Thomas, this thing. In the follow me thing, does it understand how to follow?
Yeah, I think.
What does the dome bit do? I know my audience is going to fill in all this. I'm going to probably, you could go onto Amazon or eBay and you could probably read up about this toy. You know, I don't want to, it wants to jump off the table, so I don't know how much real intelligence it's got. Let me just turn it off again. I don't want it to jump off the table, it's too nice. This is a completely awesome, all singing, all dancing Thomas. Where are toys like this one today? I've actually got a Lightning McQueen which has a rubberized face. That's yet to be seen. I think it's from the same era as this toy. Look at this, it's got the running board here which is painted. This is what Thomas the Tank's all about. It's all about the very special details of the whistles. It's about making sure that he has been given 3 wheels. Sometimes I'm seeing Thomas get round of only 2. It's about making sure that you got the driver's cab details and the bunker in the right spot and little details like this. It's about having a nice face, and it's about having a toy which has got features that are completely endearing. Now, I wonder how much this toy is online. You could probably hop onto Amazon and eBay and you could probably find it there. I tell you what, I'd be quite curious to know how much this one's going for. This one's in, I call it in pretty good condition. I was trying to think, if it was being used, it'd have scuff marks and bang marks here. The face, because it's a rubberized face, that would get marked up pretty easily. I know how children are with these things because they'd be trying to jam food into Thomas's mouth. I know he likes to eat meat pies. There's a bit of discoloration I feel going on there in the dome, although you probably can't see it. The top here is nice and clean. Like I said, normally you'd see it being banged up a bit. There was a bit of dust in the coal pile there. It's really just such a clean toy. I'd hate to think how much that would be to buy these days. I've just obviously turned this toy back on. I have noticed it has got, there's a little sensor on the funnel there, very hard to see. I don't know how much you can hear me there. I wonder if that's for the follow me aspect of this toy.
My buffers.
He says everything, doesn't he? I might just take it for a bit of a run and just see if it will follow me. Okay, I've moved to inside, and look at that, Thomas is in sleeping mode there with his eyes shut. The more I look at this toy, the more I play with it, the more I'm thinking it's totally awesome. Let me just turn it on to follow me and see if this toy will actually follow me. Just got to remember where to switch it to. I think it's that there. What I've been curious about this toy is it will work even though its wheels aren't on the ground. That's sort of a bit strange. Let's see if it's going to follow me or not. Or just go totally and completely wild. Okay, I'm walking in front of Thomas here. What are you going to do? You sort of stop there. If I come over this side, is it going to follow me? Okay, Okay, I'm standing here now. It's gonna, well, basically ignore me. Well, there goes my thoughts of any artificial intelligence from this toy. Come on, you gonna follow me or not? Or do you have to be really close? If I put the camera there, will it follow me around? Well, maybe it does. Come on, you gonna follow me around here? Could be an each way bet if it turns the other way. Okay, it's followed me there. Gonna follow me again? Look, I'm right down low with this thing. If I go over here, will you follow me? Thinking. It looks like it does follow. Nice and down low, and I'll do one more test. I'm going to go over this side. Will you follow me? Or is it going to be dumb? It does follow me. Well done, Thomas. So potentially, is this a Skynet Thomas? Is it really that intelligent, mind you? It does just want to take a jump off a cliff there. Awesome toy. Completely awesome. Is trying to take a backwards jump now. Come on, Thomas, get your brain together. Whoa! Oops, sorry, Thomas. Accidents can happen. Well, I've just obviously come down to the workshop again, and look how I've captured Thomas's face there. How can you not love this Thomas toy? Well, it never ceases to amaze me how many Thomases come in via my local charity shop. I've built up an enormous collection of Thomas tanks via that shop. I haven't shown the collection for nearly 3 years online. It's scary big now. It actually is going to be something I'll have to take outside the show because it won't fit on the table in my workshop anymore. It's nice to see things like this. I'm actually a bit spooked. Have I had one of these before? The problem for me is I have so many Thomases now, I start to lose track. No pun intended, of how many I've got exactly, and if I get duplicates. Very impressive toy, but would have been an elaborate toy to buy and expensive and all the rest of it, blah blah. But in a very strange way and more simplistic way, I am as impressed, if not more impressed, with this Thomas here, which is a watering can Thomas. It was the first one we looked at in this video, and I remember when I first saw this one, I got very excited, and straight away I thought it was something from, well, in a sense, a bygone era, you know, Thomas's past. And it's funny, in the toy realm, well, the past can only be a couple of years ago when toys were good. There's been radical changes to the Thomas franchise and the toys. I'd like to see a watering can like that brought back, wouldn't you? Just leave a comment and let the toy company know. Nice toy, that one. You know, pulls the heartstrings, but hey, this one even pulls the heartstrings probably a little bit harder. Well, let me just show you how many Thomas toys I've got collected up, and these are ones that you haven't even seen in the videos yet. I'm afraid I'm not going to have enough life to get through all these. I've got another one of those. Okay, just look there. It's sad to see the minis are now starting to come through. They're a very recent toy. One of those, you can see what's there. Some very unusual things as well. And I mean, I love things like that. Once again, it's a crossover of merchandise to Thomas. I can't get enough things like that. I think it's a bygone era thing. You know, that's, well, in a sense, that's a fairly recent toy. All sorts of things down there. Okay, all sorts of goodness. Up here, some more plush to look at. It just never ever stops. Another one of these. Okay, do you remember that one? I think it was Merit Toys. I might be wrong again. Who knows? We'll look at it in the video coming up. Yeah, it just goes on and on and on. Nice busy bee James there, and the merchandise. Oh my goodness me, this is, I have got boxes upon boxes of merchandise you haven't seen, and some of it is totally amazing. Even recent merchandise like that, and people said to me that's actually got a fault in it with Gordon. I'd like to investigate that. Like, it just keeps going on, and even like stuff which has never been unboxed. Okay, you know, like I said, I don't think I've got enough life left in me to ever show all this awesome Thomas goodness. It just never stops appearing at my place. It just keeps coming and coming and coming. In the dark corners of my garage, I have got boxes upon boxes of merchandise, Thomas and Friends merchandise you haven't seen. It just keeps going. I do go and buy some of the new stuff because I'm curious about it. That box at the back, that was like a Christmas thing that came out in Target Australia. I've got another one of those. I think that's the second one of those that I've got. And in there you can see other things there. It has really surprised me how much merchandise has come through, and I've got some books too. What has surprised me is actually how popular looking at the merchandise was. I only did that as a litmus test video. And when I said to the charity shop, hey, can you collect the merchandise for me as well, I never expected the floodgates to open like they did. And there's everything you can imagine. I'm starting to understand why these franchises make so much money. It just keeps going on and on. The variation is quite staggering. And Thomas Kite there is Thomas everything. And like I said, I haven't even presented all this stuff to YouTube yet. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes there, 2 plastic tubs there, and, you know, various other blah blah on the top there. Yeah, it's funny, once you start opening boxes, you tend to want to open more, don't you? Oh, yes, I've forgotten about that. I also said if you ever see any Chuggington stuff come through, and it rarely does, grab that. Not much Chuggington, it's about, you know, one piece of Chuggington to about 300 pieces of Thomas stuff. But it just goes on and on and on. There is Thomas the Tank, basically everything in life. Okay? And, yeah, that was my son's, I think, yeah. There's a bit of stuff here that I bought myself, all sorts of clothes. It just never seems to stop. Oh, and I almost forgot, this is the most recent piece that the charity shop found for me. It's like a little Thomas table, with Thomas on the top there. If I turn it on, it's going to start doing the Thomas anthem and get me very cranky. But nevertheless, totally awesome. Who had one of those, eh? It's sad, it's a little bit sun affected, the stickers are. But I am very impressed with that one there. Yes, it's a bit of a worry, isn't it? I've got so much stuff and really not much time to show. It's sort of sad. Let me just move the awesome Thomases away here for a moment, and we are going to do a giveaway. Rather special giveaway. I've been building up for this one. Oh, I might grab that there. Do you remember which video this came from? Sometimes it helps to win giveaways if you're a bit of a constant viewer of my stuff, and that might be a clue to winning. I'd like to give away basically this rescue set here. I've added the piece of track, and you can have Flynn and these wagons here, plus that one there. Harold, the helicopter that I've added in. Percy, the classic one there. And Skarloey, as beautiful as they are. Also throw in a gold, rare, ultra rare Thomas there. Believe me, they are going to be worth, well, more than their weight in gold in time. And I've run out of stretching rubber chickens for the moment, but you can have one of these sort of stretching snakes. I'm not sure how much fun they are. Maybe you can report back, because you need to be a YouTube producer to win this prize. And considering this was a bit of a Rescue Harold thing, let's really add to this prize something rather different and rather special. I think my squadrons of Harolds need clipping, so this will also be part of the prize. There is a mint box here, Take and Play Harold. There's a nice plush one there. I tell you, I get everything comes through my place. Okay, and obviously I can't keep everything. In fact, I think I'm going to have to get rid of my Thomas merchandise collection. There's just too much of it. I need a home for that one. If maybe someone's listening who can... There'll be someone in Sydney I want to give that one to. Okay, obviously there's that Harold there. This one here, bit more of a classic Harold, that one, isn't it? Hey, and when I send this stuff, I'm going to make sure the batteries are out, or else the mail just comes back on me. Plus these guys here. Okay, I think it was a surprise toy one, wasn't it? I think the surprise toy one had the best detailing. I think they were Checkout Thomas's, or Checkout Harold, said the wrong thing there. And probably the gold and the piece de resistance in this giveaway is that item there. I'm not going to say what it's from. You guys will know what it's from. That is if you've been watching my content, and that, like I said, the secret to winning is watching my videos. There's lots of people, they only appear on some videos and then they just disappear. Okay, do you know what that one's from? Very, very special Harold. You'd be quite privileged to own that one. It'd probably score a massive dollar amount on eBay, that one. So that's the giveaway. Okay, basically all that you see on the table there. What were we going to get you to do to land that prize? So there is the prize, and it's been set out more beautifully now. And I think the nice simple way to do this is leave a comment on this video. You must be a YouTube producer to enter this giveaway, and explain to me why you deserve this prize. Maybe you're a Harold collector. You're going to be very excited, but you need to prove that to me. Maybe you just think that Thomas toys are the best in the world and you've got a fantastic collection, but you'll have to prove that to me. Maybe you've been someone who's been watching my other videos and you've come in and answered the questions that I put in my videos, and you'll be proving that to me as well. Yes, there's some beautiful toys here. In no way do I need this stuff. I've got far too much of this stuff and it really needs a nice new home. And I just thought to myself, well, someone actually laid a comment on the video where this was found. Like I keep saying, maybe the secret is looking at my other videos. And they actually filled in some gaps about why microwave ovens, especially my mum's one, started to go yellow on the front. That's the sort of thing that impresses me. I was actually highly impressed by that YouTube, and I took a look at their channel, and that's the sort of thing I don't forget. Well, I better leave this video here. Sorry for taking so long to get round to another giveaway. I hope you like this one. Please read the info area of this video to understand all the conditions of the giveaway. One of the main conditions is you need an address. I can't send something to outer space. Okay, as strange as it sounds, I've had that request. As always, thanks for watching and bye for now.